to Python online classes. Today we are going to learn about tuples. So before going to the tuples, let's see the agenda of this class. The agenda of the tuple is introduction to tuple, creating and initializing a tuple, accessing an element in a tuple, changing an element in a tuple, tuple assignment, tuple operations, tuple functions, and tuple methods. This is what we are going to learn about tuple in Python with this one or two lectures. First, introduction to tuple. Tuple is a data type available in a Python. So as like as a list, tuple also is a one data type. So tuples also is same as like as a list. It's a sequence of elements separated by the comma enclosed inside the parenthesis. In the lister, we will enclose all the items in the square brackets, but where in the tuple we will enclose inside the parenthesis. That's the only difference between the tuple and lister while initialization part. And they are immutable data type, which means values cannot be changed inside the tuple. So in the list they are mutable data type. So in the list we can change the values, we can update the values. But where tuple we can't change the values because they are immutable. And this is how we can initialize the tuple. Tuple variable is equal to value 1, 2, 3, so on till n, and we need to enclose in between the parentheses. So this is how we can create a tuple and initialize a tuple. So tuple is a creating, placing the all items separated by the comma inside the parenthesis, and each and every tuple item will be accessible by index 0 to n minus 1, where n is equal to size of the tuple. A simple tuple with the integers. This is the tuple with the integer, string and float. And this is the nested tuple inside the tuple. Same as like as a list. List we use the square brackets, and here we are using the parentheses. That's it. Now accessing element to the tuple. So accessing element to the tuple same as like as your list. So in the list we have accessed as a 0 to n minus 1, where n is the size, and here also we will access 0 to n minus 1 and n is the size. If it is a nested element, then you need to access two indexes n of 0 to 1. N of 0 to 1 in the sense this is 1, 0, and 1 in the sense A. 0 to 1 is the A. N of 1 is the entire tuple. This is how we can access the tuple elements. If you give the index range out of items, so let's think that I have the tuple items are 3, but I am giving the index range as a 4, then it will give the index error. And change the element into the tuple. Unlike lister, tuples are immutable. In previously I said that tuples are immutable. I can't change the tuple, but still you can change the tuple items when it has an immutable data item. That means tuple contains the item as a list, then you can change. So here is the example, my tuple 4, 2, 3 and 6, 5. 6, 5 is a list. So this list item you can change, but you can't change this tuple items. So that's where say changing the element 6, 5. So tuple 3, 0 I am changing to the 9. So this 6 is changing to the 9. So my new tuple will become 4, 2, 3, 9, 5. Tuple will become 4, 2, 3, 9, 5. We'll see each and everything in the practical mode in our terminal editor. So tuple assignment. So assigning a tuple to a variable. So very simple. T1 is a tuple name, values are 10, 23, and T2 is a values are 100, 200, 300, 400. And T1 it will get 10, 20, 30, and T2 will get 100, 200, 300, 400. It's a very simple as like as list. But whenever I want to swap the tuples, I want to swap the two tuples. So if you swap any two variables in any other language, you need to use a temporary variable. But here you do not require any temporary variable, so you can directly swap with the statement called T1 T2 is equal to T2 T1. Does it mean left side of tuple variable while the right side will be known as the expression of the tuple. That means T1 becomes T2 and T2 will become T1. Once I add this statement to my code and I say print T1, it will become T2 values 100, 200, 300, 400. If I say print T2, I will get T1 values as 100 because I have swapped. So T1 will become T2 and T2 will become T1. Call it as a assignment. And till now we have seen how to create a tuple and how to access the tuple and how to change the values of the tuple and how to swap the two tuples. So these things we'll see in our terminal editor so that you will understand very well. So quickly I will go through the Python editor. So this is our Python. So I will say tuple example. Save this file as a tuple example. Tuple example. So first create new tuple. T is equal to 1, 2, 3. Simple tuple. Three items. T is equal to 1, 5, 4. So tuple three items different data types. T3 1, 2, 3, 4. Three items and list. So I have a three tuples here, T, T1 and T2. So now I need to access these tuples and I need to print these tuples and I need to modify the tuples. So how can I access this tuple? So first I will print all the tuples whether they are printing all tuples. So I say T into T1 into T2. So now I will run this code. So run module. Okay, that's it. So three tuples are coming. So whatever I have taken, the tuples are coming. Now I need to access these tuples. To access these tuples, we need to use a accessing tuples. Access starts with 0 and ends with the n minus 1, so that I can say print t of 0 will get output as a 1. The print t2 of 1 as 5. Print t2 of will get output as a 4. Now I will run this module. Okay. 1 high 4. 1 high 4. Okay, fine. This is same as like as a list. If you are perfect with the list, you don't have any problem with the tuple. Same as like as a list. That only few differences are there in the list and tuple. Those differences are while creation of the list we need to use the square brackets, and where tuple we need to use a parenthesis. And lists are mutable, you can add, update and do all the things, but tuples are immutable. You can't make any changes to the tuple until unless tuple item is a list. Clear? And remaining things you can't change the things. So that's how. So here I have the 3, 4. I can change the 3 value to the another thing. How can I change the value here? Let's say changing tuple T2 of 0 is equal to 7. Changing of 0 to 7. So I am changing 3 to 7. So here initially it's a 3. I am converting as a 7. So now I am printing T2. Print T2. This will give output as, what will be the output? 1, 2, and now I will not get 3, I will get 7 and 4. This will be my output. So this is how you can change the tuple. Say run module. Okay. So 1, 2, 7, 4. Initially it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, but after change it's a 1, 2, 7, 4. This is how modification will be done. So this is, we can simply call it as a changing a tuple item. Now you can do the tuple with the loops operation. Yes, you can do access tuples with the loop also, same as like as a list. So how can I access tuple with the loop all the items? Let's see, I can make it as a comment. I in range 0 to 3 P of I. That's it. Accessing all elements, of tuple using loop and range, loop and index. Same as like as list. We have seen this thing in the list, and we can do the same thing with the tuple also. So I will get 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Simple. Yeah. You can do all the other loop operations also using tuple 1, 2, 3. You can do directly for I in or T type. All elements of tuple using loop without index. Okay. Say 1, 2, 3. This is what simple. Okay. So this is how you can access the elements. Either you can access element with the index, or you can access element with the loop, or without index or with index. You can do all the list operations with the tuple. So this is how you can create tuple and you can do. And here you have something interesting thing called tuple assignment. So this thing we can call it as a tuple assignment. And you can do the swapping also. As I said in the PPT, swapping will be done. First I will to print T. So I say T before swap. I say print 1. So I say T1. For swapping I have a T and T1 values. Now I will swap. So to swap these things, what I need to do, T comma T1 equal to T1 comma T. Swapping two tuples. So now after swap I need to print T and T1. Copy. So T after swap and T1 after swap. So both the things are there. Now we'll see, check whether they are swapped or not properly. So I will run this code, run module. Check. Before swap T is equal to 1, 2, 3, and after swap T is equal to 1 higher 2.4. And even before swap is a 1 higher 2.4, after swap is become 1, 2, 3. This is how swapping will be happen. Swapping will happen in the tables. Okay. So this is what happens with the PPT in the swapping. So this is a little introduction about tuples, And now we'll see next class tuple operations. What are the operations are there in the tuple? Check here operations. Repetition, repetition, in, not in. So check whether element is available in a tuple or not. And concatenation. Concatenation in the sense it will add the two tuples into one. So that we can call it as a concatenation. And repetition. We can repeat the single tuple into multiple times. We can call it as repetition using the star or multiply symbol. And concatenation will be useful with the operator called plus. And in and not in. In will check whether the particular item is available in the tuple or not. If it is available, then it will give the true, otherwise false. And not in is a reverse. If item is not available, it will give true, otherwise it will give false. You have a slice. So slicing in the sense same as like as a list. We can get particular exact subpart of the tuple. So that we can call it as a slice. So we'll see these three things in our Python editor, and later we'll go to the tuple function. Here, first thing, we'll go to the Python. So what I will do, I will make it as a comment again. Everything into the comments. First, tuple. So we take T plus T1. So T and T1 both will be concatenated now. Run this code. So here you can check T and T will be concatenated. So I will run again. So T both are merged, concatenated, added. And I will have a tuple repetition code also. It up to. I am printing two times. So T2 is repeated twice. So that we can call it as a tuple repetition. And now we will see in and not in functions. That I need to write a if condition. If or false. We'll go with the true or false or not in. Yes, okay, fine. Uh, 3 in T. 3 is available in T or not? Yes, 3 is available, so I will get as it. Yes, true. If I say is available in T, no, so I will get false. False. That's false. So same way, not in will work reverse. False and false will get true. Not in. For not in, yes. So this is how not in will works. I run this code. False, true, false. Here I change the value. Outputs I am changing the value here. So that's why I am getting true, false, true, false. If I make it as a 3, 4 and you will get false, true. Simple. Don't get confused here. This is how we can do tuple operations, and we have a slicing operation also in the tuple. So if I say print slice, so I will add a few more. So I take key of 0 to 1, 0 to 2. 0 to 2 means part of subpart, so I will get 1 comma 2. Output as 1 2. If I run this code, so 1 2, I am getting 1 2. This is how our tuple slicing will work. Same as a list. The thing is that tuple will have the parenthesis, list will have the square brackets. That's it. Everything is same. So this is how we can do the tuple operations. Clear? So now, if you move to the next slide, we have some functions. So tuple functions methods we'll see in the next video. All for this video. Have a nice day. See you soon. If you have any doubts, you can contact me through WhatsApp or Google Classroom. Thank you.